I think I can do this without any headphones. There's almost no wind today. It's about 3 p.m. May 1st, May Day, here in Texas. And like I always say, what a lovely day. Can't you hear the birds in the background? There's billions of blooms around me. It's such a beautiful day, but today I had to deal with the ugliness that is humanity. William Golding was right when he wrote The Lord of the Flies, that humans without a highly structured environment revert into homicidal maniacs. So, like I always say, why do you need glasses when you have a bottle? Yeah. And here's to the newest Shemek, just born in the last 48 hours. Oh, that's good. The title of this episode is Anti-Semitism is Everywhere. Covers the globe. I normally live here in a protected pocket where even the people that fucking hate Jews, forgive my French, actually Dutch from fucker, meaning to strike, even the, let me back up by saying that today in the county seat of this county, I was attacked by some Polynesian, Latino, mix, 440-pound, there she blows kind of guy with obvious psychiatric. Right now, I know by now the cops have identified him, and he's being offered by MHMR voluntary commitment. They're going to keep him out of the jail system because they can't possibly feed that Moby Dick the 20,000 calories a day that he craves. And he was clearly this morning was picking up a shitload of medication, which probably included his diabetes medication, etc. But I'm going to try to tell you the story as briefly as possible, just to show you the kind of shit they have to deal with all the time. Now, in the past, a lot of people that were new to this area, who didn't know that I come from the oldest, we've been here for 200 years, oldest, most famous family. We've produced more statesmen, more military people, more All-Americans, more All-Pros than anybody will for centuries. We've gained more ink. We've spent more decades on radio and television than anybody will for ever. So this pusillanimous, overfed, long-haired loser today, I need to try to keep this as polite as possible because it may be being watched by the local police department. So I want to keep my quotations exact, just like I did my written statement, and tell you the kind of crap that before going on to that, I have to deal with this crap all the time. Every day I deal with people that call me a kike, they want to throw me in ovens. I'm used to it. I'm really, even though I'm making more estrogen now, my skin is getting thinner. When I was younger, I was so thick-skinned and so leathery skin and so smooth skin, beautiful skin, you really couldn't hardly, every little scrape or bump healed immediately. I was so thick-skinned, being the last of 5 brothers and the last of 8 children, that you really couldn't get to me psychologically or otherwise. You can spew your hate all day long, but you're really not going to get to me. But when you threaten me, when you threaten touching or harming my person, I call the cops. Because that's what they're there for. the manager of the store, the Walmart, had already told me that he's not going to do it. That this one asshole, obviously a person who is at least latently to overtly homosexual, kept attacking me, punching me. And actually, I had people in the store today tell me, yeah, we know what you're talking about. We haven't seen him in months. And I said, yeah, last time I saw him, he had lost 2/3 of his muscle mass, and he wasn't even wearing his dentures. You know, he's 77, but he always prided himself. I ran a gym for like 23 years or something. Bull. Anyway, the guy was obviously gay and had, and used to regularly attack me. And the manager at that Walmart said that he wouldn't do anything unless I called 911. And so today, when the opportunity arose and I got attacked, not a scratch on me, I call the cops, who will then go to the video. They will force them to bring up the video and identify the person, and he'll probably just get off with going to a voluntary commitment down in Austin State Mental Hospital because he's obviously a mental case. Look, we all have moods and mood swings. All humans do. But this guy had not only a mood disorder, but probably a schizophrenic disorder. It's not giving me the time. Oh, shit. Oh, there it is. Anyway, I'll keep going. I went into town. One of the first things I did was I went and I bought a couple of cartons of cigarettes. You know, that's fucking $130. But when I'm coming out, I realized, oh, geez, I got like 10 brand new cigarette lighters inside my house, but I didn't put one in my pocket. So I asked the guy for a light. He kind of looked like that Izzy guy that sings Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's why I told the cop he looked like he was Polynesian, but you know, Latinos have some Polynesian, Asian traits, so whatever. But he was definitely within that weight range. I told the cop, I said, you know, if he fell on my legs, he'd probably cripple me. You know, I said, I'm real good at handling myself, but, you know. Anyway, when I asked him for a light, I sat down, I said, man, it was rough this morning. I had to roll a couple of cigarettes before I came to town because, you know, I got papers, but I was out of cigarettes, and that happens often. And he goes, yeah, and the next thing you know, he's talking about marijuana, and so I start talking about like, you look like you're short on the endocannabinoid oleoyl ethanolamide, and you may be eating too many GMOs. And then he went, you're rude, shut up. I don't want to talk to you. Okay. Not a problem. I shut up. Then, in typical female fashion, which tells me everything about his psychology, in less than 30, 40 seconds later, he tried to talk to me, and I just turned to him and said, you remember, we're not talking. And then he said, I want to knock that Jew rag off your head, which I don't have on right now. And then right at that moment, as I wrote in my police report, his ride arrived, and this guy who had been using an electric scooter, etc., because of probably his enormous weight, etc., his ride arrived, and he grabbed his drugs, a whole sack full of drugs for multiple problems, and had no problem doing about 5 or 6 miles an hour. Which, to tell you the truth, I have a lot. Actually, at that moment, you know, when the cops came after, I would have had trouble getting up off the bench without some help. You know, I'm pretty stove up. And I told the cops, I said he had no trouble launching off the bench and heading to his ride and getting the hell out of here. So, that's the kind of shit that I face every day, because every one of you losers blame your failures, the fact that you have no brains, that you had no education, you acquired no education, and you've never accomplished anything in your entire freaking life. 9 minutes. have plenty of time. You know, you blame it on us. I see it all over YouTube. I already commented on the fact that YouTube cannot possibly control hate speech because of all the movies, etc. And well, this guy today, he violated a Texas law and a federal law. He violated a Texas law and then actually twice violated a federal law regarding hate speech, because as he was going away towards his buddy, picking him up in that middle-sized van, he said, I hate Jews anyway, his exact words, as I wrote on the police report. I don't misquote people. I don't twist things. As a matter of fact, the problem is right there at Walmart is there's no camera and no audio to pick up now. I think from now on, right here in the top pocket or some other pocket, I'm going to be recording everybody that talks to me, and if I need to, I'll just pop it open and start video recording. Everybody. Even though for months, I've been taking the battery out of this Moto Lenovo so that they can't count everywhere I go. I'm really good at trick. Google has no idea where the fuck I'm at. I love that. Fuck you, Google. You're not making shit off of me. I get almost no ads, and when they are, they're like 140 miles, 50 miles away, or 80 miles away, and you don't even know where the hell I live because I live in a Faraday cage. You see, unlike most of you people who come on Facebook and other shit like that and YouTube and show everybody where you live and the layout of your home, I'm smarter than you. You think anybody could make it into my house and survive? No. Can you even get close to my house without me calling the sheriff or the cop? No. Or getting killed? No. Because why? Because you're city people. You're concrete, hillbilly, Jew-hating losers. That's the real problem. That's your major problem, is your concrete, hillbilly, Jew-hating losers, because we Jews are just more highly accomplished than you. 27% of all Nobel Prizes. Okay? And your ethnic group, there's a few drops of rain. Your ethnic group has never gotten more than, 10 or 15%, 12% Nobel Prizes. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and make another video today. I'm going to start uploading this one immediately because my last video, I started uploading it on like a Friday night and it took 50 freaking hours. Thank you, YouTube, for prioritizing those people who put so much money in your pocket, whereas I refuse to. I refuse every free trial, the free television. I refuse to give you any more information than I absolutely have to. Because why? I'm a smart-ass Jew boy that owns the top of a hill in the middle of nowhere in Texas where you can grow food year-round. And this is where all of America, including the government, will come in case there's a nuclear disaster. Most of you fuckers don't even know the nuclear policy of this planet, of this country. You know, look up Nuke Alley first and think about what is that northern row of missiles above Little Rock. What are they going to do? They're going to take out all incoming Russian or Chinese. What's that southern row about? It's about throwing up EMP bursts and knocking out the submarines that might come into the Gulf of Mexico to mess with us here. The president, everybody in the government is going to come here after the initial shelter down. They're going to come here because this is the only place that you can raise livestock without any stress. You can grow 2 crops of cotton a year. You can grow crops year-round here. There's no place, and it's geologically stable. There hasn't been an earthquake here, even close to here, since the 1812 New Madrid quake in 1,000 miles north. Well, 800 miles north. So, I live where any intelligent person wants to live. That's why I chose this place 40 years ago. Yeah, 40 years ago. I'll be back. I'm going to have to cut off the end of this.